Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Valentine Sports Show. I'm your host, as always, Frank Rampin. We are back. The MLB season is back. I got my Kelly Green Oakland jersey on, just so everyone is clear. Got my A's bobbleheads back up, got all the bobbleheads back up, Bobby, Vince, Scully in the middle. We are back, better than ever. 2025 MLB season is locked and loaded. Let's get into it. So, about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks of baseball has been played. We've got our first impressions of teams. We've got a little bit of opening action so far in the season. Teams doing well that we expected. Teams doing not so well that we expected to do well. A lot of intrigue around the league so far throughout about 2 weeks. Let's dive into it right now. We're going to do this one as kind of a season preview. Talk about how the first week or whatever it's gone. And I'm going to give my division predictions for this season. And we're going to talk about some interesting things that have happened, as well as the torpedo bats, the talk of baseball. So, like we always do, we go AL to NL. We'll go from coast to coast, east to west, because, you know, I live in Stamford. Connecticut, East Coast. Let's start over here, even though I got my A's jersey on, but, you know. So, the American League East looks to be as stacked as ever. One of the most competitive divisions in all of baseball every single year. The Yankees, the Red Sox supposed to be back. The Orioles are good. The Blue Jays just signed Vladdy to a 14-year extension worth $500 million. So that could be interesting. The Tampa Bay Rays kind of rounding out the rear. They're going to be playing in the Yankees minor league ballpark this year. One of two teams playing in minor league stadiums this year, them and my A's. Right now, actually, the Blue Jays sit at the top of the division, but that could change very quickly. Teams have been only about 10, 11 games been played so far, so obviously that's going to change very quickly. Yankees start off insanely hot. They kind of brought this torpedo bat thing into the limelight. 5 of their 9 batters in the order using the torpedo bat, and on the second day of the regular season, they hit 9 home runs, scored 20 runs, and everyone was like, what is that? We need these bats. So it's been all the crazy for MLB for the first 2 weeks. We'll see what happens as we go forward. It seems like you need to have your own data because everyone's bat is, it's not just like what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Unanimous? No, not unanimous. It can work for anybody. That's the word I'm looking for. But the torpedo bat isn't just a one model for everyone. Every torpedo bat is slightly different based on the hitter and based off where the weight of the bat is and where each player likes it. So it's going to be interesting to see what versions of bats are going to be used by players like Brendan Donovan, the player for the St. Louis Cardinals. He has a bat, not a torpedo bat, but a adjusted barrel bat where the barrel is moved down, but it doesn't go at the top. So the barrel is shifted down towards the handle a little bit in his bat, but at the top it doesn't skinny out. It stays thick throughout the whole thing. It's like the Donovan model. It's going to be interesting to see how many custom bats we'll see. I do think that this year, after a tight race in the AL East last year, the Baltimore Orioles are going to be able to take this one. The young talent maturing a little bit every year and so forth. I think this Orioles team is going to be able to take down this Yankees team, but we'll see what happens. Pitching's going to have to hold up. The offense is going to have to do what they did last year, and obviously they're going to have to stay healthy. So we're going to see what happens there. The Blue Jays have a chance. The Yankees obviously have a chance, and now the Red Sox, a good team. A lot of people have them going deep into the playoffs. So my pick, Baltimore Orioles, but we'll see what happens. The National League East. The New York Mets off to a good start, 6 wins in a row as of right now. The Philadelphia Phillies off to a good start, and a team that maybe a lot of people thought were going to win this division, potentially beat the Dodgers in the playoffs. The Atlanta Braves off to a terrible start. Only 2 wins in their first 10 games. They got swept by the Dodgers, swept by the Cubs. So we'll see what happens with this Braves team. 2-8 so far. Injuries have been a thing. They still don't have Ronald Acuna. They don't have Spencer Strider yet. So when those guys get back, we'll see what happens. But I think this team, who I'm about to pick to win this division, the Philadelphia Phillies, that lineup is unbelievable. They've been together for, 3-4 years now? Basically the exact same lineup. The pitching staff is great. Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez is hurt. I think this Phillies team is primed to be better than they were last year, and I think they're going to win the NL East. AL Central. AL Central, always one of those weird divisions. Honestly, both the Centrals, the American and National League, kind of have been a little bit lower tier than the Western and Eastern divisions in each league, and especially the American League Central. The Detroit Tigers, the Kansas City Royals, the Cleveland Guardians, they're all kind of fighting for it. The Minnesota Twins are not off to a good start, and man, the White Sox, a lot of baseball fans, avid baseball fans who sit down and watch baseball every single day like myself, don't even know a lot of the guys on the White Sox team, especially their pitching staff. but that's been one of the surprises of baseball so far through 2 weeks. The White Sox pitching staff has been unbelievable. All of them. Sean Burke, I believe his name is. Martin Perez, I know him. He's been pretty good. Veteran, finally makes his way over to the south side. He's been good. But I just don't know what to think about this American League Central, honestly. And I'm going to go with youth, the team that I picked last year to have a big jump. Didn't win the division, but had a good year, the Kansas City Royals. I do believe in this Kansas City Royals team. I think Bobby Witt Jr. is primed for another great year. I think Vinny Pasquantino, the Pasquatch, is going to have another great year. Salvador Perez is always a mainstay in this lineup. And if they can pitch, Cole Reagans, Seth Lugo, if they can pitch with a solid bullpen led by Lucas Urseg, who they got from the Oakland A's, I think this Kansas City Royals team can win the Central. National League Central has been an interesting division to start this season. The Chicago Cubs might be the hottest team in all of baseball right now. Their offense looks unbelievable. If they can pitch, they'll be fine. But man, this offense looks very, very dangerous. They lost their first 2 games in the Tokyo series in Japan to the Dodgers. But ever since then, this offense has come alive stateside. I think I'm going to pick the Chicago Cubs to win this division. It's been the Brewers division for the last 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years. They still look pretty good, but they start off the season horrendously. In New York, got swept. They gave up, I think, 10 runs in every single game. They were the team that gave up 20 runs in the second game of the season. Nestor Cortez, his first start as a Brewer, back in his old stomping ground at Yankee Stadium, and his old buddies absolutely tattooed him. He gave up back-to-back homers on the first 3 pitches of the game. The first time that's ever happened in the history of baseball. But man, Nestor Cortez got roughed up. I just don't know if Milwaukee's going to be able to do it again. They have had a better season since then. Got themselves above 500. They're 6-5 at this very moment of recording. But I think the Chicago Cubs team, like we thought for the last year, maybe 2, could be primed for a run. Seiya Suzuki's been tearing the cover off the ball. So is Kyle Tucker. Dansby Swanson's been hot. We'll see what happens with this team. I think they have a chance to win the division. So far, we've got the Baltimore Orioles. We've got the Philadelphia Phillies. We've got the Kansas City Royals and the Chicago Cubs. Out west, to wrap things up with my division predictions, the Los Angeles Angels have had their best 10-game start in franchise history. 7-3 to start the season for the Los Angeles Angels. Won all 3 of their first series of the year. But, I do believe that after a regretful year last year by the Texas Rangers, they won the World Series in 2023, and they did not play good baseball in 2024 at all. They, almost limped their way to the playoffs, but they just couldn't pitch. The offense was anemic. It looked like a different team with all the same guys. I think this Texas Rangers team is going to be better this year. I do believe that if DeGrom can potentially stay healthy for, I don't even want to say a full season because that's almost like unrealistic now. 3/4 of a season. Like if they get him on a 6-day rotation type of thing, I hope he can stay healthy. But I think this Rangers offense is really going to be due for a bounce back season. Adolis Garcia was one of the best players in baseball in 2023. Corey Seager, Marcus Semien was great. They kind of hit a down spell last year, especially Adolis Garcia. Adolis Garcia struggled last year mightily, and it was really, really felt throughout this lineup. They lost Nathaniel Lowe. They replaced him with Jake Berger. He's going to have to be more consistent at the plate. He's really a boomer bust guy. He's going to homer or strike out. If they can get this offense going like it was last year, led by, honestly, Jonah Heim, who's been their best hitter so far this year, the old A's catcher, now in Texas, I really think that this Texas Rangers team is going to take the West. Astros, I believe, got worse. Altuve's playing left field right now. It's just really weird, but this Astros team, though, you got to always be prepared for their pitching. Framber Valdez, Ronel Blanco, he threw a no-hitter last year. Christian Javier, those guys are just great. They've been great for the past 4 or 5 years. Excluding Ronel Blanco, he's kind of newer to the scene. But the Astros pitching staff, always a formidable force. But I think their offense is going to take a step down. And I think I got the Rangers winning the division. And it's pretty funny to look at the standings here. Every team, the Los Angeles Angels, the Texas Rangers, the Houston Astros, Seattle Mariners, the New York Mets, the Philadelphia Phillies, and then the Athletics. No city. No Oakland, no Sacramento, no Vegas. So I think it's insanely ironic to watch the A's play, right? They're the Athletics. They're not Oakland. They're not whatever. They used to be Philadelphia. They used to be Kansas City. They used to be Oakland. And now they're just the Athletics. So they're just the Athletics. They play in West Sacramento in a minor league ballpark. On one of their sleeves, because, they had to take away the elephant patch on the side because, got to get that out of there. On one sleeve, they have the Sacramento Bridge. So it says, I don't know if it says Sacktown, but whatever. Sacramento Bridge here. So you're representing Sacramento. And on the other sleeve, it says Las Vegas. But we can't even have a damn city attached to the name of the team. What an absolute joke. That's why I'm wearing this jersey, the Oakland Kelly Green, with the 50-year anniversary of being in Oakland right here. Couldn't get to 60 because John Fisher's an absolute scumbag. But, you know, they're in Sacramento. Offense is doing pretty well. But remember what John Fisher said, I don't know, last summer when this whole thing was kind of getting confirmed that, hey, the A's are leaving the Coliseum for sure? What did he say? He said, it's going to be unbelievable to go to West Sacramento and see the stars of baseball like Aaron Judge and all these other guys hit home runs at Sutter Health Park. Didn't mention any athletics. Didn't say Brent Rooker. Didn't say Lawrence Butler. Didn't say Shea Langoliers. Didn't say J.J. Bleday. Nobody in the green and gold. Just opponents. And boy, has he gotten his wish. In the 5 games, excuse me. The 5 games played so far at Sutter Health Park as of the recording of this video, 4 of them, the opposing team has scored 3 or more runs in the top of the first inning. So as soon as the game starts, A's are down. Other team's hitting homers in the first. So John Fisher, nice dude. You got what you want. Say Suzuki's already hit a couple bombs there. Fernando Tatis hit a couple bombs there. Manny Machado hit his first bomb of the season there. So nice. You got opposing stars doing great things in your own ballpark, including a cycle in the first game in the history of the stadium. Sorry, I had to get that rant off my chest right there. But we'll move on to the National League West, which might be the best division in the history of baseball, the way people are talking about it, because apparently the Dodgers are the greatest team of all time, which I'm not disagreeing that this is the greatest roster ever assembled, potentially. But it's baseball, man. You still got to go out there and play these games. You got to pitch to players. You got to field. You got to hit. It's not so easy. It's not like it's basketball. It's not like it's football where you can really just overpower a team and just you impose your will. I'm better than you. That's it. Blah, blah. That's not baseball. Baseball, you have to be your best on every single pitch. Anything can happen at any time. And if you lose a series to the Nationals like the Dodgers just did, is everything over? I'm really confused because I love the Dodgers. I don't not like the Dodgers. I don't have anything wrong with them. I just have a problem with the way that the media is perceiving them because I think they're great. I do think this is probably the best team I've ever seen put together on paper. But you still have to go out and do it, right? Because as of right now, the day of this recording, April 9th, the Dodgers are in 3rd place, right? Dodgers started off great. They didn't lose for the first 8 games in a row. And now they're 9-4. So they've lost 4 out of 5. They're human, right? It's just baseball. Anything can happen in baseball. With that being said, I'm still going to pick the Los Angeles Dodgers to win this division. They're probably going to win over 100 games. But the fact that, everyone, all these people that have watched baseball their whole life, I'm not saying I'm smarter than everyone. I'm 23 years old. I've watched a lot of baseball, but I haven't watched nearly enough baseball as, these guys on TV, like Carl Ravitch and these guys. But they're saying they're automatically, done deal. They're going to break the wins record. We're just going to see how many. 115 wins is a lot of damn wins. I don't know if that's just smack dab going to do it. If they do, that'll be impressive. I'd love to watch it, but let's get to July first. Let's go through a month. Let's get through 2 months and see how the Dodgers are doing that. I just think it's a little bit premature to be crowning them the all-time winningest team in the regular season before we've even gotten there. But the Padres look great. Their offense looks unbelievable. They have a great pitching staff as well. Michael King, Dylan Cease. Yu Darvish is hurt, but when he gets back, he'll be back and healthy. The San Francisco Giants, one of the surprises of baseball so far. 8-3 overall record. They've lost 2 out of their last 2 games to the Cincinnati Reds, but the pitching's been good for them as well. They play in a favorable ballpark in San Francisco by the Bay. But if they can get their pitching going, the offense to go a little bit, this could be a very, very interesting National League West race, especially with all the bad blood between these California teams. San Diego does not like the Dodgers. The Dodgers do not like San Francisco. And San Francisco does not like the Dodgers. So it's very, very, very beefy, if you were to say, out there in California. But that'll do it for us. Quick little 15-minute show to start off this year. Baseball is back. Can't wait to be with you every single week, breaking down all the cool stuff. Oh, wait, before we go, we got to talk torpedo bats a little bit. Torpedo bats have been all the talk of baseball. All the talk. After the Yankees, like I mentioned before, 9 homers, 20 runs in a game. First game that Ellie De La Cruz uses it, he cracks 2 homers, has 7 RBIs. So I do think it's a very genius idea. If you were to think about it, right? Here's a bat. Let me grab a bat. I got a bat right here. Right here. So we're talking baseball bats, right? Usually, what everyone's accustomed to, the bat gradually gets bigger, and once it gets to about here, that's as thick as it gets, and it stays that way. Maybe it gets a little bit thinner at the end, but this is kind of an older model, but this is more or less what it looks like, right? So, This area, about where the writing is, I would say, about right here, maybe a little bit shorter, right there. That would be the barrel, right? That's what we're calling the barrel. The whole thing here, this is ours truly, Bobby Valentine, OG bat right here. Let's go. But the idea of this is that, explained by Michael Kay with the Yankees, Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe and the metrics people at the Yankees found that he was hitting more balls than not closer to the handle or the label. Not as many in the exact sweet spot of the bat where the barrel is, just a little bit lower. So what they did was they took wood from here, wood from here, wood from anywhere but the barrel and added it to the barrel. So that part of the bat is more dense, which if you're contacting the bat or the ball with that part of the bat, don't you want that to be the most dense part of the bat? I think so. And if we have the metrics now to show you, hey, you hit 65% of your balls right here, you might as well throw in a little bit of extra wood there, because this wood, it's not really, I mean, it's for balance, it's for all that stuff, but it's not really doing as much as what this wood is here. So I think it's a brilliant idea. And like I said before, like Brendan Donovan, he has a bat where, so Jazz Chisholm, we've all seen that one. That's the most famous picture. Jazz Chisholm's bat comes out, it looks like it gets thick here, and then it goes back down, like one of those old school bowling pins, right? Brendan Donovan, his barrel gets bigger here, and it stays there. Not too big over the standard, because obviously the standard for baseball, one piece of solid wood has to be smooth, can't be longer than 42 inches, which, let's be honest, that's massive. And it can't have a bigger circumference than 1.61 inches around the biggest part of the bat. And all these bats are within that regulation. Brendan Donovan's just is longer or wider for longer. So I think it's only going to be a matter of time until the rest of the league really catches in on this, and this is basically the normal bat. But I think everyone's going to have a slightly different bat, and I think that's really cool for baseball. I think that's going to be a very cool thing for performance, and it's going to be interesting to see where it goes as a stats nerd. So that's going to do it. First episode of the 2025 baseball season. Got my division predictions for you. I've got Baltimore, Kansas City, the Texas Rangers, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Chicago Cubs, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. So in 6 months from now, you can come back and make fun of me for the ones I got wrong. And hey, maybe if you're going to make fun of me, praise me for the ones I got right. We'll see. Maybe I get none right. Maybe I get all of them wrong. We'll see. We'll be back next week. I'm Frank Rampin. Baseball is back. Let's go Oakland. Peace. Oakland forever.